Jenkins, your Master Purpose Development Coach and the CEO of the Purpose Development Institute in Atlanta, Georgia. And I want to welcome you to another segment of Reversing the Effects of PDD. But first, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to get some very important insight that I'm sure that by the end of this video, you're going to find to be of great value to you. So today, what I want to do is I want to talk to you about an important leadership strategy that I discovered in a very difficult season of my life. So I'm going to share part of my story with you. And I'm sharing this part simply because during that time, I discovered one of the most important leadership strategies that I've ever known as a leader. Now, prior to my divorce, I worked with a lot of leaders in corporations, nonprofit organizations, athletics, leaders in so many different capacities. So I knew some things about leadership. I had attended several seminars and read a lot of books that I'm sure that you have done the same as well. So I knew some things about leadership, but there was something that I discovered in this dark season of my life that has changed the way I lead the people that are working with me here at the Purpose Development Institute. And I want to share that with you because I'm sure that it's going to help you rewrite the codes for leadership effectiveness as well. Now, what I discovered in that difficult season of my life is a capability that we all share. Now, it's important for you to understand this capability because it's going to help you show up to be a better leader. It's going to put you in a position to help other people show up as well. So regardless of what capacity that you are operating in, whether you're a project manager, you are in a corporation, you're an entrepreneur, education, you're in athletics, whatever capacity that you're in, even it might even be in a nonprofit or a government sector. If you are a leader, then this is going to be extremely important for you to be able to integrate this strategy into increasing leadership effectiveness, specifically in this post-COVID era that we are having to lead in. It's a different era that we have to understand how to rewrite the code for increasing leadership effectiveness. So what I discovered in that difficult season of my life is that I had the capabilities of being able to build capacity for sustaining purpose over time. Now, that was extremely important for me because there were days I did not want to get out of bed. In fact, the first 30 days after my divorce, that described who I was. I wasted a lot of time and I abandoned my growth potential. In other words, I didn't feel like using that situation to become a better version of myself. So it was difficult for me to show up every day until after the first 30 days of my divorce. That's when I began to do two things. Number one, I began to take my time back and I began to take my growth potential back. I knew I couldn't stay in that situation forever. In other words, I had to finally get to a place where I had to turn my mess into a masterpiece. And it was one of the most important strategies that I've ever learned as a leader because life has a way of creating a mess. But as leaders, we have to be able to turn that mess into a masterpiece. If we can't lead ourselves out of a mess and create a masterpiece, then how in the world can we help other people? So it's important for you as a leader to be able to understand what I discovered, and that is, how do we build capacity to sustain purpose over time? Because if I didn't have the understanding of how to sustain purpose over time, then my 30-day period would have turned into maybe a year period of trying to recover, maybe 3 years. And I'm sure that you might know some people that might be in this position. Perhaps you're in this position yourself. That's the reason why it's important for you to learn this strategy that I'm going to talk about. Now, several years after that, shortly after that, I remarried to my business partner, Dr. Lily. And several years after we married, we decided to take purpose development and we decided to vet it at a higher level. In other words, we wanted researchers who did not have a financial interest in our business to kind of validate, the work that we had been doing in purpose development. So we rolled up our sleeves, we went to work, and we had participants in a research project that we were involved in, where we had cohorts that participated in a very powerful discovery of a phenomenon that applied to every person on your team. And it's important for you to understand how to apply to you and how you can develop and cultivate the skill set to help other people in this area. So we noticed that our cohorts, they had different career paths, different goals, different ethnic backgrounds, and they had different challenges like I had during my season. Different challenges that really challenged them to complete, at a high level, to advance their career at a high level. But we noticed that even though they had all of these differences, they ended up in one place. And the one place that we noticed that we call the phenomenon is that every person displayed the ability of being able to build capacity for sustaining purpose over time. So that's the phenomenon that we all share. You share that phenomenon, and the people on your team, they share that phenomenon. It's important because if you are working with a group of people or a team and they don't understand the influence of what we call purpose deficit disorder, then it's going to prevent them from showing up to be the better version of themselves, from showing up, from day to day to be able to maximize their growth potential. Number one, it's going to affect you, then it's going to affect them as well. So it's extremely important for you to be able to integrate this strategy into increasing leadership effectiveness, because it's going to empower you to show up at a higher level so that now you can help other people show up as you master the skills of building capacity to sustain purpose over time. Now, that's the model that Dr. Lilly and I created. We created the world's first model that deals with so many things. Number one, it will put you in a position to be able to minimize or reverse the effects of purpose deficit disorder in this particular model, so that now people can buy their time back and exercise their growth potential, so that now they can show up and be the very best on your team. So regardless of what position that you might be in, number one, you are in a better position of showing up, and you're also in a better position of helping those on your team show up as well. So that's the reason why I want to invite you to several things here at the PDI. I want to invite you to be a part of our PDI Smart Leadership team. And I want to invite you to be a part of our coaching team, our purpose development coaching team as well, because this is what separates our coaches and our leaders from all the other leaders in coaching programs on the market, is that we have the model. We have integrated that model into all of our training system to help you master the skills of building that capacity to help others sustain purpose over time, so that now they can achieve at a high level. They can show up and be the best version that they can be to participate in whatever project that you are working on. So make sure that you go to our website, set up a discovery call. Go to www.pdiatl.com/events. Set up a discovery call, and let's talk about whether you need to be a part of our PDI Smart Leadership team, or you need to be a part of our purpose development coaching team. I look forward to working with you.